right? Our members' marketing departments are very, it's very important that they control their own messaging and their own delivery of benchmark information. So we will not publish benchmarks. What we will do is we'll say, for example, the Linaro toolchain, we have benchmarked, and between 11.05 and 11.11 running this suite of benchmarks on our member hardware, we can show you the improvement in performance over that 6 months. So we improved 10% running these benchmarks in aggregate over our members' hardware for this 6 months. And we'll have the data to back it up. So, given that I haven't got very long, I also want to talk about a couple of other things that we want to do this year. Currently, product management is carried out by a combination of Kiko and David Russelling. It takes up a lot of their time, which they really should be helping actually deliver product and code during that time. And it's an extremely critical function for Linaro's success. It's a difficult problem. There are a lot of competing requirements from all of our members, as well as from the market, as well as from what's coming down the pipe from ARM that Roger was talking a little bit about this morning. There's a lot of competing things that are vying for our attention as we grow our engineering team. And this needs to be a very high-level position. If any of you know of a world-class product manager who you think could cope with us, please send his name to me. The key responsibilities for this person is he's going to be interfacing to all the members and to the outside marketplace and internally. He's going to own the Linaro requirements, and he's going to be the interface into the TSC for our product roadmap, and he's going to be responsible for building our roadmap over time. So we're looking for that person. Joe, are you here? Come and just say hello. This is Joe's first week. Some of you have met him. He's standing at the back. He's shy of coming forward. Not usually shy about coming forward, actually. All right. So Joe is the head of member services, and the landing teams, so that's Anmar and Scott's group, are reporting into Joe. And Joe's role is to really make sure that we're delivering what our members want. Okay? This group effectively takes the output from the working groups, the output from the platform groups, and is responsible for making sure that we're doing what our members need us to do. So over time, Joe is also going to be taking care of how we build up support for what Linaro does. So Linaro working groups don't want to be supporting stuff that they delivered 18 months ago, right? But our OEMs and ODMs and members will need support. And we'll do that through a combination of working with third parties and obviously supporting those third parties ourselves. And Joe is going to be building that organization over time, moving forward. So I'd like to welcome him. He's got a lot to do. And if you want to say anything other than hello.
Right, I'm sorry, I left my cowboy hat back in the room this morning.
Well, no,
yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Today's my third day, and so far there's a lot of interesting stuff going on around here. And I think the other thing that I would add to what George said is, from talking to the members, is our ability to communicate what we are doing and all the work that is going on by the people in this room and others back to the members, back to the management teams and the executives to make sure they understand what the value it is that we are delivering to them. So I think that's important as well.
It is. It is. All of you should feel this is open, right? Everything we do is in the open. One of the comments from members that we're going to address, we're going to start building monthly or quarterly reports to the members on how we're doing, and we'll obviously publish those in the open. But all of you can help by making sure you disseminate the excitement and the enthusiasm about what we're doing into your member organizations, right? Promote Linaro within your organizations, and we're going to try and make it easier for you, and rather than pointing your manager to the wiki, where he may well glaze over, we're going to provide some materials so that it's easy for you to say, well, go look here, this is what Linaro is about. So this is something we really want to do this year. We're going to put some more effort into making Linaro better known, and not keeping it a secret. Thanks. Ben, you didn't think you were going to get away without something here. Come up here. Come up. So Ben is returning to ARM. I think you all know that. He was instrumental in founding Linaro. He's done an incredible amount for getting this organisation up and running, and his enthusiasm is amazing, and what he's actually achieved is amazing with the rest of the team. So I would just like to say a big thank you for Ben to getting us to where we are. He thinks he's returning to ARM. He's got some kind of cushy job lined up within ARM. What he's actually doing, he doesn't know this, is he's still my personal confidant, and so he's going to be continuing. Yeah, exactly. So he's going to be continuing to help us navigate the ARM complexities of interfacing to ARM. And whenever ARM don't do anything that I want, I go to Ben, and he's going to make sure that the necessary connections are made. But anyway, a big thank you to Ben. Yesterday, we, given his penchant for not-for-profit organisations, we actually donated a panda to Ben. And I'd just like to say thank you very much to him from everybody at Linaro. So.
I'm not going to say very much, other than I think the last 9 months have been a real journey. The team that came together to form this, Kika, Dave, Stephen, Rob, and everybody behind them as well. This wouldn't have happened without everybody. It's fantastic to see, when we go out there to the industry and we go speak to people like HP, or we speak to Google now, or we speak to Dell, or we speak to companies in Asia, the traction that's already beginning. And so, it's exciting to see the new vision, the extension, the test, the validation, the evaluation builds. Unlocking this value is key. It's been a privilege, and I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll be watching you very closely.
Thank you. So finally, there's now nearly 80 of us. We've grown up enough to have an org chart, although it's a very simple one. And this is just so you know who to talk to when you need somebody to get something done. We are a really open organisation. We're fully distributed, right? It is really important that everybody feels free to talk to anybody. Anybody can email me, anybody can email Stephen, email Kiko, copy all of us, right? It's very important in this distributed organisation that everybody feels free to communicate with anybody. In terms of getting what you really want done, from an engineering perspective, as you all know, the working groups and the platform and validation teams, that's Alexander, report into Kiko. We've set up the office of the CTO. I don't think we have time now, but anybody who's interested in what does this mean and what are they going to do should talk to David. But the key concept behind this is that there's an architects group who have a sort of wide-ranging remit across all of the technology that's going on with Linaro. So if you've got a technology problem or an architecture problem within your working group or within your platform team or anything you're doing, David is the person to talk to because he'll allocate one of the architects, Loic and others, to help resolve or to help brainstorm what we should do in a particular situation. He's also going to be working on some advanced things like new working groups before we actually formally create them. Product management I've talked about. We're going to try and get some new members this year. We have already been trying to. We're well along the way to doing this, but our goal this year is to add some members to the Linaro roster, and I'm going to be working on that with some help from Rob. Member services I talked about. Joe, responsible for landing teams, management of members, and technical support. And marketing is Rob, as you know, and he does all of the web and the PR and the communications and building the alliances and partnerships that we need out in the industry. And Stephen in Cambridge is our head of operations and really does everything else. So that's really all I wanted to say. I did want to just touch on our 2011 goals. This is from the members meeting. Our goal is to deliver value to our members. They are paying a lot of money to make Linaro successful. Each of them hopefully will get more than they put in back, because we're working on common areas that are common to all the members. So if a member put X in, there's 5 members, we're hoping to deliver them 5X in terms of resources back. How are we going to do this? Obviously, our working groups are core. Let's go back and, regardless of all this additional stuff that we're doing, what we really do is in the working groups, we develop technology and consolidation. But we're also going to be getting these landing teams really working this year, doing these evaluation builds, and creating the test and validation framework. We're going to attract more members, and we're going to establish some key metrics to try and measure how we're doing. So things like technical metrics, and we're going to formalize this over the next few weeks so that we start to follow this in this cycle. We'd like to know how well we're doing. We'd like to tell the world how well we're doing. So we need some numbers. And so things like, how did we do against our original goals for the cycle, or our original plans for the cycle? How much did we get upstream? How did things perform? These are all some quantitative numbers we want to create, and we want to establish a dashboard for this cycle and then run with it as we go forward. And we also have business metrics as well. How much resource can we actually put into this? How satisfied are our members? How many new members do we have? And the ultimate goal, if you think about our vision, is how to measure time to market for users of our technology. That's a really tough one to measure. And anybody who's got any great ideas on how to actually quantitatively measure that, please let me know. But it's something we're thinking about. How do we combine all this information? How do we look at how users use our technology? For example, once it gets into a distribution, we can, I think, demonstrate that we're rapidly reducing the time to market. So our goal is to get it into distributions. So that's an ultimate goal. Right, I've used up a half hour, plus 5 minutes, but I'm blaming Arwen in the photo for that. Thank you very much for all coming. I know some of you have travelled a long way. Just so you know my time zone, despite my accent at the moment, I'm based in Boston. But you can ring me up at any time in the morning or day or night. I do hang around on IRC, and I'll do what I can to be as communicative as possible. But I apologise if I don't immediately respond. Thanks very much for everybody coming this week. I know there's a huge amount of work going on, and it's great, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in Europe next time round. And in the meantime, I think everybody's going to be doing a lot of stuff that's hopefully pretty exciting.